letter, something about a Lambert disc. He's a bit pale, you know, for a disc.
Pale?
Piece down, pulse up.
80/60. Some disc. Thanks, Staff. He might need a drip.
One's ready.
I called my physician in the early hours. Regretfully, of course. But the pain had become severe. One collapsed, rising to stretch one's legs.
Was the pain there before you fell?
Quite definitely. Strictly between ourselves, my physician seemed to think the fall had caused the pain. One didn't argue.
And you've had trouble with your back before?
For many years, but never like this.
May I examine your abdomen, sir?
Certainly, dear boy.
How bad is the pain?
Quite the worst one has experienced.
We'll give you an injection for that. Very soon.
Thank you. Am I very ill?
I'm afraid so.
Am I going to die? I'm sorry, perhaps one shouldn't ask. I don't mind.
I'll arrange that injection. Dr. Bertram? David Campbell.
What?
David Campbell.
Oh, sorry.
Look, I've got a really frail 87-year-old man with a big abdominal aneurysm and a lot of pain. I've given him 5 of diamorph.
Yeah, fine.
Is that all right?
Yes, appropriate, plenty of it.
Drip?
No.
Surgeons?
You're kidding.
Fine.
What time is it?
5:45.
Okay, Dave. See you in the ward at 9.
There's a girl with him, a granddaughter. Do you want to see her?
The pain's in his back, but he's actually bleeding from the inside. From a sort of disease of the arteries he's probably had for a long time. Probably started to bleed last night. But it could have happened at any time.
Is he awfully ill?
I'm afraid so.
Isn't there anything you can do?
We can treat the pain, but the main artery of the body's just given way. Even transfusing him just couldn't keep up. At best, it would just prolong the whole business.
I see. He will become.
Yes.
Dr.
Campbell.
Thank you for all you've done, Dr. Campbell. You've been very kind.
No trouble.
Miss Colin, your grandfather would like you to go in now, please.
25 minutes now.
At 5 o'clock this morning, he said his back had gone again. And now it's 7:30. And he's dead.
The early symptoms could be very similar. You can't really blame his doctor.
No, I don't mean that. I adored Dr. Mancy. He was more like one of the family than just a doctor. I'm not complaining. It's just him dying.
You looked after him.
Sometimes he was awful.
Sometimes old people can be.
When he was alive, I was angry with myself for wishing he were dead. Now he's actually dead. I'm angry with him because he's... I know that sounds silly and selfish.
Not at all. That's quite common. When someone dies, I mean, grief isn't just grief. Most people don't realize it, but you do.
What makes it worse is that everyone here is so kind and marvelous and efficient. I'm just crying.
Morning, Campbell. Quiet night, I see. Well, at your time of life with experience, you need not sleep. You coped.
Mr. Fernie died.
One of Creature's Hemis.
That's right.
Did you fill the bed?
He's only just away.
Oh, well, that's something. Bed is what we need. There's a nice big red headed lassie out there. It's a little bit down in the mouth.
The aneurysm's granddaughter. He's dead too. She's waiting for his things or someone to collect her or something.
Pete upstairs got 8 female admissions. Some of them real crumbles. Crumblitis, crumblosa, crumblans, diffuser, the slow kind. Might be in here for years. Not like your aneurysms.
Quite interesting. He was sent in as a disc.
Dearie me, you even had to make the diagnosis.
That's him. Big abdominal aneurysm with a bit of calcification.
Good signs.
Big thumping lump in his belly and no pulses below.
Who sent him in as a lumbar disc? President of the Royal College of General Practitioners.
Morning. Morning, What is that?
Where did you say it again, please?
Bangalore, Doctor.
Bangalore? You sure? Looks much more like something from Critter to me. I mean, it is absolutely typical, isn't it?
Absolutely, sir.
Yeah.
Nancy, GP, nice progress in the new town. Rotten doctor, well, daft but not dangerous. Have we got any of this? No.
Don't know.
Henry. What? Henry, old boy. How are you? And to what do we owe the pleasure?
Oh, one of my old chaps sent him in last night. Grand old boy. About 90 and quite famous in his way. Hamish Pathwan, the poet, actually.
Well, what's the problem, Tuck?
Just a disc. It's all in my letter. No, I just popped in to hope that you weren't overdoing the high technology on the old boy.
Well, Dr. Campbell, well.
I'm afraid Mr. Pathwan's dead.
Dead?
Of a disc, Dr. Campbell? Just excuse us a moment, Dr. Mancy. Now, look here.
This is Pathwan's plain film here. He had a big aortic aneurysm and bled profusely.
Yes, I believe you. Better try and get a post-mortem anyway. And, Campbell, might have been wiser of you to have let me know about this last night. I'd gladly have come in regardless of the hour. Ideally, of course, one of our surgical colleagues, such as Mr. Revelston, or could have
I'm
been
sorry I wasn't
in.
aware that Mr. Pathwan was so famous.
All right, Campbell. I understand. I've been a houseman here myself. It's when you're most tired, you have to be most careful. That's when the serious mistakes happen.